team, what we have a bit of a culture. I want you guys to start this year off like this if you haven't. We have a culture on our team that everyone has a notebook just for LifeVantage, just for the team. And on every LVA, at every EA, and every team call, this is your nugget. So this is actually one of my notebooks for last year. And I'll tell you guys, this entire notebook, I wish you could see it. It's uncashed checks. It's just like so yummy. So the best leaders, they are excellent students, okay? Background about me, I'm 37 years old, just turned 37 on Sunday. I am married to the man of my dreams, Tony. This is why I live in Siberia. You don't move to northern Minnesota for only two things, money or love. We know it's not a money issue. So this is why I am here. It's because it's absolutely the best man that I've ever met. We met online and married during the pandemic. So that's fun. That's its own little story. But prior to getting started in network marketing, I was a 21-year-old college dropout. Is there any college dropouts in the line? Drop a 1 in the chat if there's any. There's always a couple college dropouts. I don't have a fancy education or any degree. No, I am just, my background is like retail and customer service. I did do a 1-year stint in mortgages, and that was a fantastic 365 to the day year for me because I learned a lot about sales. So that was really, really cool. I got introduced to network marketing because I hated my job and I had a bipolar boss. And I thank God that I had such a horrific job. I actually took the job for more money and it was a nightmare every day. I commuted 2.5 hours. She was nuts to work for and I needed a way out. I was like, please, Lord, give me an opportunity. And a friend of mine dragged me down to a meeting to learn about network marketing. It was at the Phoenix Marriott Hotel, Hotel Marriott, or at the airport. And it was like 80 people talking about sticks and circles, three, and network marketing and leveraged income. And I had never heard about that before. I only knew trading time for dollars. So I was so blown away. By the end of the night, I said, sign me up. And I got enrolled. And my first 30 days, I signed up 0 people. Zip, zilch, nada. And I was doing 2 to 6 presentations a day. Like imagine IT team, 2 to 6 people a day and signing up nobody. So if you've already come to the conclusion, I was the worst. Yes, the absolute terrible. There was nobody worse than me in network marketing. I have the crown to prove it. Okay. And I was so bad that my sponsor, who was about twice my age, about 50 years old at the time, he said, "You're really bad at this." Exact words. So if your sponsor in LifeVantage has never told you how awful you are, consider yourself blessed. Okay, he said, "You're terrible. You're probably the worst I've ever seen. Here you go." And he handed me a ton of books and tapes. And back then it was like CDs. I'm like, I'm aging myself a little bit here. I'm a millennial, but I'm an elder millennial. I'm like an elder millennial. I tell all the little young millennials about CD-ROMs. And I would listen to these CDs on my way to work and back, these 2.5 hours every single day. And over time, what was good is that my skills started to improve, but more importantly, what I lacked in skill, I made up for in numbers, Jim Rohn. And I started seeing a little bit of success. I'm talking like $200 a week. $400 a week, $1,500 a month. My first 5 years in network marketing, guys, ready? I made a whopping $104,000 full time, not in a year, 5 years full time. So I was really rough at this. I didn't have the personal development or the skill set, but Rebecca, I attended every event. I never missed a Super Saturday type of an LVA, and I sat in the front of the room taking notes. And over time, I became to get better and better. And about 11 years ago, I had the opportunity to transition from that company into health and wellness. That was my true love and passion. So I joined a network marketing company, and at the age of 26, and I decided to divorce my excuses and marry the results. And I said, hell or high water, I am going to make this work. And I got introduced to my upline, 7 levels higher. Her name was Tara Wilson. Have you guys heard of Tara Wilson? I got on a call with her, and she was the equivalent of a Pro 7 in 90 days. And I was like, 10K a month, teach me how to crawl, walk, then run. I will do whatever this chick says, even if it sounds dumb. And I did. And my first 30 days, I talked to 200 people about that company and I enrolled 35 of them. I made over $13,000 as a 26-year-old punk kid. I said, wow, if this is that easy, everyone should do what I just did. So I taught that. And by 7 months, I was at 50,000 a month, 26 years old. I don't even know what happened. I was like, I was just a failure 7 months ago. Here I am running through this comp plan like a pro 9. The company's no longer in existence. And by 16 months in, Rebecca, I was the number one female. I was the Carrie Dickey of that company, the number one female earner. And I had built up a team to over $4.5 million a month in revenue. I went on to make my first $3 million in 4 years with that company. And they went into a lot of different directions, very, very bad choices, ran by some very skeezy dudes. And we decided to exit in 2015. And at the age of 30, I knew I wasn't done with network marketing. I knew that this was the best vehicle out there to create time options, to create leverage. And I knew I wanted to be in health and wellness. And so we started looking at companies and I got offers from everyone. You're making $1 million a year, you're getting offers from everyone, right? And I looked and I just didn't see anything that I liked. And I talked with Tara and I said, well, where do you think we should go? She goes, well, there'd only be one company. It's LifeVantage. Shocker, spoiler alert, I joined. But I remember hearing about Protandim. And so my story really began as a customer, Rebecca. I signed up as a customer. I was still in my other company. And I was very, very sick. In fact, I kind of want to share with you, please don't share this, but it just gives you a perspective. I had full-blown adrenal fatigue. I was super, 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 super sick. And this is me working mortgages. Look at your little Pro 10. Yeah, I used to work in a half cubicle. So if you guys are like working, this was $12 an hour. $12 an hour. I love seeing Pro 10s of where they worked before, right? This was me working 12-hour days in a boiler room sales environment. And because of the stress in my previous company, I got very, very sick. So the idea that I heard that Protandim reduced stress, I was like, I'll take it. They called it the fountain of youth. I was like, can I bathe in it? They're like, well, kind of, we have the skincare. And so I signed up and I began to immediately start feeling better. I started to feel better. And it was an extraordinary transformation in my energy. And I started talking about it. Now, mind you, I was with another company. So I kind of was like, hush, hush. I got to have like these little conversations like on the side. And guess what? Everyone wanted to try it. They're like, where do I buy a bottle? Where can I get this? I showed my mom. She was a top leader with me in my other company. She didn't know I was looking at this company. She's like, where can I buy it? I'm like, hold on, I'm not signed up yet. So on 10/10/2015, we joined LifeVantage, founded something called Team Heart, and it's been an amazing run. Because I had known how to do this industry before, Rebecca, because I knew how to launch. I did the same thing here. I made a list of 200 names. I called them all my first 3 weeks in the business, and 19 days in, I became an elite Pro 7, fastest in the company's history. 4 months to Pro 8, 18 months part-time to Pro 9, and 4 years almost to the day to Pro 10. And now leading an organization that does over $1 million a month in revenue and growing, and so freaking blessed. And I'll tell you guys, going back to my little, I love this because I'm a visual person. I didn't make any slides. I love these products. I'm like, oh my gosh, my face. I've gotten 2 compliments in the last 30 days. My husband and my mom, like, your skin looks so good. If you're not using these products, guys, get them on your body, on your face. I've lost 18 pounds on the products. I don't say that I don't really take physique, but I take pretty much everything else. I just think it was inflammation, activating the body, came off, and the hair care is exceptional. I used hair extensions for years. And it's just been an amazing run. Have an extraordinary team, been able to speak on the biggest stages of the world, GoPro, ANNP, Fraser Brooks, Rob Sperry events, masterminds. And again, Master Pro 10, they gave me a pillow. I was really excited about that pillow. It was like my favorite thing. I was like, oh my God, you get a poster, you get a pillow with your name on it. Bought my dream cabin, moved into the middle of the woods. And here we are today, building a little network marketing side hustle from Siberia. So that's my story. And that's where I came from.
I love it. And I think it's so important because I think so many of us put put our Pro 10s and put the leaders up on a pedestal, thinking, oh, it just looks so easy for them. But, the truth of it is, when you hear your story, you got a lot of no's, you got a lot of rejections. You were not successful when you first started off in network marketing. And it truly did take a while to build that up. So
I always say I'm a 15-year overnight success. So
there you go. So let's get to a little bit of meat and potatoes, a little question and answer, if we may. So, so much about network marketing, I think, is creating a system and creating a system that works. And I think you've done an amazing job in doing that with your team, and also helping LifeVantage create the ITT system. So can you describe a little bit about the ITT system and why that works so well?
Well, it's really interesting, Rebecca, because I've studied this industry as a profession now for over a decade. And I realize that in every company, you do the same thing. You talk to people, you send them to a simple message, you follow up, and you enroll. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're selling lawnmowers or light bulbs or skincare or vitamins. Like, you're doing the exact same thing. You're talking to people, sending a simple message, follow up, and enroll. And the key and core of ITT, the core skill in network marketing, is inviting. If you can learn how to invite and have that conversation and introduce somebody to the LifeVantage story, the products in the business, that is really the gateway skill to all success. And in fact, we just did a big kickoff call last night with my team, and I said the person that wins these next 90 days is the person that ITTs the most. It's the person that has the most conversations. It's the person that has the most presentations. It's the person that just purely has the numbers. But you're right, my math, if you guys look at the numbers I just shared with you, I'm not that good. I talked to 200 people, got 35. What is that? Is that like 15%? Guys, I did the same numbers when I joined LifeVantage. I talked to 200 people, I got 30. I went down, became less effective. But guys, it's like 15%. So I'm not some master closer. In fact, I think I'm like the anti-closer, the non-closer closer. I just talk to more people and I say, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I have. It may be for you, maybe not for you. At the very least, you'll want the product.
And I think, I think so many people have that. They know about the ITT, right? They're good with the invite and the tool, but I think one of the hardest part is that third T, is that team call, either a three-way call or inviting them to a Zoom or inviting them to a meeting. Can you give some tips on what people can say to their prospects to kind of help get them through that last step? Because I think that is truly the closer, is that last step.
Yeah. And so I do teach my team the fact that if you don't need that third T, you don't need to use it. So once you create posture and skill and the ability to tell stories and the ability to influence and move somebody to a buying decision, don't just have a three-way call to have a three-way call. If they're ready to sign up, you sign them up. The three-way call becomes the welcome call when they've joined the business and you're running them through the launch guide. But for most people, they have questions. So I'm going to give you guys some scripts here tonight. So if you have your pen and paper, like, let's write down a few things. The first thing that after they've seen the overview, I ask them, what'd you like best? What stood out to you? What was highlighted for you? What else did you like? What else did you like? What else did you like best? What else did you like? I try to grab as much information. And then I love doing what's called a slot close. I learned this in mortgages. And I asked, okay, Rebecca, do you see yourself being a customer and just using the products, getting on a stack today? Or do you see yourself, using the products, but also referring others and getting your products paid for and making money? And so this way I find, or do they want to be a customer or distributor? If they want to be a customer, I don't really need to get them on a three-way call. I could probably just answer their questions. I might share a few stories or product testimonials from somebody on our team, like in a Facebook group. But chances are, if they want to be a distributor, they likely have some sort of concern or question before they get started. And I want to know what that is. Great, what questions do you have? And this is the key line. You ready for it? This is the key line to get all of you guys your three-way calls are going to explode. Your three-way chats, all that, getting somebody to your upline. You say, the next step of the process is. Great, Bobbi. So you're wondering a little bit more about how the comp plan works and how you can really fit this into what you're currently doing without like really interfering with your full-time job. Great. The next step of the process, I need to get you on the phone with my upline, Dr. Rebecca, or I need to get you on the phone with, Julie. You need to hear her story. And I always present it like this. She's fun. She's knowledgeable. You need to hear your story, and she's going to answer all your questions. She's fun. She's knowledgeable. You need to hear her story or his story, and they're going to answer all your questions. Great. The next step of the step process, I want to introduce you to my business partner. And nobody balks at that. They're like, oh, okay, I'm going to get on a call and hear somebody's story. Everybody loves to hear stories. And so when you present it like that, like, oh, they're so cool. They're so chill. They're so awesome. They have oh my gosh, super high integrity, super knowledgeable about the business and the products. If they have a question about the products, oh my gosh, Rhonda's going to answer all the questions for you about the products and help you, see if this is a good fit for you. Oh my God, you got to meet Teresa. Oh my God, you got to meet Pam. Wait till you hear Debbie's story. And so I always say this is the next step of the process and you can use this in every part of the whole ITT. You can use this even when they get started. Great. Next step of the process is to go through the launch guide. Great. The next step of the process is order your LBA ticket.
So I love those words. And I love the fact that you're edifying the person you're setting them up with on a call before you even get on the call. You're promoting that person. You're making them excited about talking to that person and wanting to meet that person. So I think that's awesome. We often talk about a DMO or a daily method of operations. And I think that it's so important, particularly with the new year, kind of setting up these expectations and setting things up. But so many people with LifeVantage, have a full-time job, and this is their side gig, and they're trying to figure out, how do I balance all of this? How do I create a DMO, but I'm still working full-time? Do you have some tips on that?
Well, there's two types of personalities. Let me know, guys. Drop a 1 in the chat if you're a tracker, you're organized, you're analytical, you love being to-do lists, you love kind of, measuring things. And then drop a 2 in the chat if you're like, don't tell me to be organized, don't put me in a box, I'm always late, I just want to have fun, I don't even know where my taxes or my receipts are. I mean, it's like a week and a half later, I still haven't sent my Christmas cards. Like, okay, we got some 1s, we got some 2s. Okay. So I have a Pro 5 in my team, and she's doing really well. She's making about $3,000 a month. Her goal is to hit Pro 6 in the next 90 days. She's a hyper recruiter. She's fun. She's vivacious. She's a little rough. Like, I kind of like that. She's scrappy. She is constantly puts in 5, 10, 15 people a month. She's an ex-personal trainer, lives the products, has an extraordinary testimonial. So she's built this really great little team. And we have a tracker, we have a DMO on our team that can share that if you'd like. And she's like, we're doing this 90-day run, and we're telling people you work this tracker every day. And so she calls me up, kind of stressed out. She goes, Rachel, how do I get more organized? I'm like, what do I need? Like, she always said, I need better time management and organization. I was like, Amber, sweet, lovey, precious child, come to me. You are not that person. I said, that is not your gift, and that is not how your brain is wired. If I ask you to go get organized and go color code everything and to track everything and develop a spreadsheet, she's going to be in this, like, it's when your brain gets scratchy. Are you guys, any of my 2s, like Excel spreadsheets, you're like, your brain gets itchy, right? And then some of you guys, my 1s are like, ooh, Excel. I love Excel spreadsheets, right? You're like, I can get organized, like filing cabinets, and like everything's all pretty, and like your pantry's all gorgeous, right? So if I asked Amber to be a 1, if I asked her to be organized, if I asked her to develop a DMO, I would be putting her uphill. Like, it'd be rough. She'd have tension, right? Friction in building. What Amber needs to do, I said, you just put in 8 new people, 4 new distributors last month. I want you to do exactly that, but double your intensity, double your effort, double your conversation, be more excited. I was like, I want you to put so many people in the funnel, and ITT so many people, that people are messaging you back, Amber, saying, why didn't you call me back? You said you were going to enroll me. I want you to get to that level. She's like, I can do that. I'm serious. I said, I want you to put hundreds of people in the funnel this month that you are losing track of prospects. Now, some of you guys, your 1s, you're like, oh God, right? But that's her personality, to go run like crazy. But other people, I said, you don't struggle with working. Amber, you don't struggle with doing your business every day. Now, if you struggle with doing your business every day, I don't think a DMO is going to save you. I think you don't know your why. I think you don't have a goal that is so yummy in your life and so like it sets your heart on fire that it motivates you to peel out of bed and find somebody to talk to. You're probably just uninspired. You're probably just unmotivated. So you need to go find something that's going to put you into action. If you're one of the few that just need something to do every day, I'll tell you what we do every day. We have something called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, I want you guys to tell me yes or no in the chat. Do you use social media? Yes, you do. No, you don't. I mean, like it's your main gig. Yes, you do. No, you don't. Yes, you do. No, you don't. Okay, so yes. Oh, this is really good. Any no's on there you don't really use? Okay, good. So majority are yes. If it's a no, that's fine. Offline, you can build this business with ITT too. So social media, this is our social DMO because COVID especially, we're having to do social media like 99% of the time. So we do 5 Instagram or Facebook stories. And I'll tell you guys, this is the #1 way I'm recruiting is Instagram and Facebook stories. I've recruited over 100 people since June off of Instagram stories. That is the gig. It is the #1 recruiting way on social media right now. It's Instagram, Facebook stories. So I'm sorry. I messed up the 5 already because I don't have it in front of me. Can you tell that I might be a 2? Okay. Sorry. 5 new friends. 5 new friends. Scratch, start over, cross it out. 5 new friends. So friend 5 new people a day and message them. 5 new people. Find them in Facebook groups, friends of friends. 5 new people on Instagram. Follow them. 5 new contacts. If you do this on Facebook, I'll give you an idea. If you add 5 new friends a day, Rebecca, that's 1,800 new friends at the end of the year. If you guys think you're not getting tractions on your posts, do you think you won't get more tractions a year from now? Heck yeah. You think you don't have a warm market? You just added 1,800 new people. That's 3,600, hopefully, new eyeballs seeing your stuff every single day. 5 new friends a day. Number 4, 4 stories a day. So I like to teach people they should do it morning, noon, dinner, and night, right? So all throughout the day, kind of adding stories, but you could just do 4 in a row and then be done as well. Sometimes I'll do 40 because I'm on a roll, right? But at least 4 stories a day because it's one of the biggest ways that we're recruiting. The stories are, it's too hard to train on this call. I have a great training. If you guys need it, I can send you over that. But doing the stories, posting them, I mean, guys, we have people with no Instagram following. Like I'm talking like 1,100 followers, like nothing, 700 followers, 1,500 followers. Like I have 30,000. Like these are little tiny accounts and they're hitting the bonus pools every month off of Instagram, just on stories. It's exceptional. Third thing, number 3, 3 ITT a day. So 3 people invited into the funnel to take a look, and we watch the ABC primetime, then an overview, then a 3-way conversation. 2 is 2 posts a day. And we say 1 personal and 1 some product or business, 1 something about LifeVantage. It could be kind of curiosity, but it could be blatant. Could be a before and after or something. But doing 1 personal post, so it could be you and your dog, you and your husband, you and your wife, your Bible reading, your workout. It's like some sort of personal lifestyle sort of post. And then something that you're actually sharing about the business or the products. And then the 1 stands for 1 piece of personal development every day. So it might be 1 chapter a day, 1 YouTube a day, 1 podcast a day. Again, everyone's time is different, but at least 1 piece of personal development. What we do in our team right now is we have a book of the month. And if there's any book I could tell you to read in January, it's Atomic Habits by James Clear. Please read Atomic Habits. It's changed my life. Let me tell you something. Last year, I read that on my birthday, January 2nd. I was in Cancun. I read Atomic Habits. And I always in my life, Rebecca, I wanted to be an athlete. I always wanted to be an athlete. I am tall, I am thin, I am athletic-ish, but I wanted to be an athlete. I don't want to be a bikini model. I just want to be strong and fit and endurance. And one of the things is I always told myself for 35 years, I'm not a runner. How many guys did say that I'm not a runner? Right? Cardio is cardio. If I'm running, you better run too because something's chasing me. Like that was what I would say for 35 years. I'm not a runner. I would tell myself that I must have been built with a smaller heart, or like lungs genetically did not develop. Like I would give myself all these reasons why I wasn't a runner. Anybody else? Nobody else hates running. Like I would go on the treadmill and I'd be like huffing and puffing and dying. I'm like, I must have ran a mile. I'm like 1/4 of a mile in. I'm in 2 minutes into this run. I'm like, this is terrible. People do this for fun. And then I married a marathon runner. And I got jealous because he gets all the medals and the accolades and he runs these races and it's so fun. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to run a 5K. So I read Atomic Habits and it starts to shift my mindset of building systems for success. This kind of talks about the DMO. And so what I started doing, Rebecca, is the moment I wake up, instead of going downstairs in my pajamas, I started putting on my running shoes and my workout gear. And then I go read. I always read first thing in the morning, but I already had my gear on. So my likelihood of working out went up like threefold. And then I'd go down to the basement, right? I have my treadmill right behind me. And I started running. So I signed up for my first 5K, ended up being a total debacle. It was terrible. I want to tell you, I didn't sleep for 4 days. I was so nervous. It was a terrible time, but I did it, right? And it was so cool is 2 months later, guys, I just started this process and I ran my first half marathon. Untrained, not recommended, by the way. Please train for a half marathon. It's very legit. It's 13.1 miles. Please train. I did it untrained, couldn't walk for about 4 days, but it was amazing. And then I did my next 5K. And then I have my second half marathon in 19 days. That book, just by that one piece of personal development every day, reading those chapters, reading Atomic Habits, it changed my physique, it changed my life. It certainly cardiovascular strength. So that's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 new friends, 4 new stories, 3 ITTs, 2 posts a day. Spread them out, and then 1 piece of personal growth. Because if you ain't growing, you dying. It's James Clear.
Very good. That's awesome, and congratulations on a half marathon. That's big to do.
I finished in the top 90th percentile. It was great.
Way to go, you finished. So that those are the key words there. So, okay, so I love it. So I think that, again, we've got quite a variety of people on the call tonight. We have some people who are all in, who are just going, who are willing to post and do all of these 5 steps that you just gave them. But, we also have some people who are just kind of trying to feel their way along and really haven't figured out exactly what their goals are. So let's talk about, since it is the new year, setting goals. How do you create your goals, and more importantly, how do you stick to them?
So setting goals, I think most people know how to set them, but it's actually taking the time to do it. It's actually sitting down and writing out, what do you want your life to look like? For me, I knew reading that book, I'm like, I've always wanted to be an athlete. So I needed to set those goals. If I'm going to run a 5K, I'm going to whatever I'm going to do. So think about your health goals, think about your business goals, think about your financial goals. You could think about like how much money you want to put in your 401k this year, or how much in your investment accounts, how much, you want to grow your team. What rank do you want to be at? You can have family goals. How many, excursions. Tony and I set out marriage goals for us, but also extended family goals. And it was so cool because like, we're already taking action. I'll tell you how we did that, but set personal goals, business goals, financial, fitness, all that sort of stuff. But it's not about setting the goals. This is what this book, Atomic Habits, is so key on, is that it's not about the goals. Write this down. Winners and losers have the same goals. Winners and losers have the same goals. I bet if you were to ask a Pro 7 and a Pro 1, they have the same goal, to be successful, right? The difference is not their goals. Everyone sets goals. The difference is their systems. So achieving a goal is based on what system are you going to put in place. And so I just shared with you that nugget is that if I wanted to become a runner, I needed to put my running shoes on the first thing when I got out of bed, because it made getting on the treadmill that much easier, right? What else could you do to set it up? I mean, there's other specific systems that you might have to do. Like maybe you have a pattern, a habit, right? So your habits are either making you successful or they're making you unsuccessful, right? But maybe you have a pattern when you get home from work or when you log off from work, if you're working from home remotely. And the first thing you do is you go run and you grab a glass of wine. That's a habit, right? But your goal is that you want to lose 30 pounds and go Pro 5. Okay. Well, I'm telling you, a glass of wine at 5:01 is probably not the first thing you should do the moment you, why? Excess calories, excess sugar, insulin spike, but more importantly, it starts to chill you out. Now, maybe you do need a shot of tequila before you make calls. I can get down with this approach, but more than likely, what happens after that glass of wine? Maybe a second glass, maybe then you're eating, maybe then you're sinking in the couch, maybe your posture gets low, maybe you're like, you're not really feeling it so much. It's a depressant, right, on our body. And so if anything, take an Axio and you'll be up until 2 a.m., but hello, you're going to have a lot of energy as you're making those calls. So you have to start looking at the systems and your patterns in your life and to start to change them. If you want to change your life, you have to change what you do daily. John C. Maxwell, change your life. You need to change what you do every single day. There's a difference maker between, somebody who is a Pro 10, what they do daily, or ran to Pro 10, and somebody that's stuck at Pro 2. And when I think about, I shared on my last call, Rebecca, we talk so much about habits, goals, DMOs. What we're really talking about is consistency, right? And we have all heard the analogy of, would you rather $1 million or a penny doubling every day? How many of you guys have ever heard that analogy before? Like, would you rather $1 million right now or a penny doubling every single day? Some of you guys haven't heard that one? Raise your hand if you guys have heard it. Some of you guys haven't? Okay, if you guys haven't, all right, we need to look this up. Uno más, 1 second. A penny doubling every day. Okay, I'm going to show you this. This is going to blow your mind, all right? Some of you guys have already seen this. No, that's 28 days. Here we go. Okay, so here's where we're at. Day 1, you got a penny. Day 2, you got 2 pennies. Day 3, it's 4 pennies. Day 4, 8 pennies. Man, 10 days in, you're at $5, right? But by day 30, a penny doubling every day is $5.3 million. So if those of you guys have seen this, you're like, yeah, Rachel, I see this. It's inspiring. I get it. How does this apply? Some of you guys are so inconsistent with your business. You're doing ITT, but you do it every other day. Or you do it every third day. Your penny is only doubling every 48 to 72 hours. If your penny is only doubling every other day, at the end of the month, you have $163 in change. And that's why you guys are a Pro 1 or Pro 2, or you're stuck, because you're not doing the thing you need to do every single day. It's the habits that makes a person. Everything you have in your life, your business, your rank, your net worth, your waistline, your biometrics when you go get scanned at the doctor, your physical, your blood work, everything that you have, the marriage that you have, it is a lagging measure to what your habit is. So your rank, your LifeVantage business, is a lagging measure of your ITT. Your waistline or your weight or your BMI is a lagging measure of your eating habits. Your net worth is a lagging measure of your spending habits. Now, I'm going to give you guys good news. Write this down. I don't care if you today, January 4th, are successful or not. It doesn't matter. I have good news for you. It doesn't matter what rank you are today. What matters most is your trajectory. Either your habits are pulling you upwards or they're pulling you downwards. So your habits are either building you up, taking you to greatness, taking you up the mountain, it's the uphill, or they're coasting, they're taking you down. I know millionaires that they make 100,000 a month, they spend 110. Their trajectory is not very good. And I know people that make very little, but they're able to save and they're able to be diligent and they work their investment accounts and they will retire with 7 figures. It doesn't matter where you're at right now. What matters is what you are doing every single day, and being able to do it consistently over time, without losing excitement and passion and enthusiasm. I lost Rebecca. Where did she go? Is it my Zoom now? Oh, what could we do here? It's so good. Why don't we do this? Yeah, Colorado internet, that is for sure. What I'd love to do, I have to run a podcast here in about 15 minutes. Oh, Rebecca's back. Rebecca, we almost stole the show. We almost went in a completely different direction. Could have been gnarly. Oh, Rebecca, you there? Here's what we'll do. Let's open it up for any of you guys have any specific questions, Q&A about running this year, daily habits, rank advancing, recruiting, social media. I got, like I said, about 10 more minutes. I'd love to answer any questions that you guys have. Either unmute or I don't think I can unmute you. No, so you just have to unmute. Are you able to unmute? Bob, try to unmute. Does that work? Lori,
Hey guys, can you guys hear me all right? Rachel,
yeah, Rebecca, I took over the call. We're going into a new direction of Q&A.
Oh, I'm so glad because my power went out, and so I'm sitting here in the dark right now. But,
it's okay. I just said, hey, if they have any questions about these topics, let's do some live coaching before I have to hop off. Is that cool?
It is. I got one more hot topic for you, though, that was asked of me this morning, because I think that one of the big questions is, life is not easy. And you yourself have certainly faced, a lot of challenges over the years. And you did a talk on breakdown or breakthrough. Can you talk about, how you overcome obstacles and to achieve your goals, but also how you deal with the constant no's?
I never knew that rejection was scary. So I don't like business rejection. I started my network marketing career 15 years ago, cold calling, guys. Cold calling. At 21 years old, I was cold calling. Nobody told me cold calling was scary. And it's not that I don't have insecurities or fears. I certainly do. I mean, I'm human, but I didn't care. Here's why. If they said no, nothing changed. I didn't have them to begin with. I had nothing to lose. Now, I built my business with a friends first philosophy, very honoring. Our friendship matters more than anything. So they know, and I make it apparent, sometimes it's verbalized, that regardless if they join or buy, we are still going to be friends, right? Jaya, Rhonda, James, we're still buddies. We're going to see each other at church. We're cool. But I want you to know what we do. I want you to know what we have. This might change your life. It's changed mine. So I think it's a detachment from it. Like, I've never gotten punched in the face, Rebecca, in network marketing. I've never been cussed out in network marketing. Like they say no. Like, I don't take it personal. It's not personal. If somebody doesn't want beautiful flowing hair, is that like okay. If somebody doesn't want to lower their oxidative stress by 40% and live longer, okay. Somebody doesn't want to make an extra couple thousand a month with me in LifeVantage, okay. If I was a realtor and I was building my brokerage and I went to Bobby and I said, hey, Bobby, do you and April want to join me on my team? You would join me, would you, right? Like, we're going to go start a realtor. But like, let's say he's like, no, Rachel, I don't want to be a realtor. I wouldn't be like, I don't want this anymore. He hates me. No, it's just like, he doesn't want to be a realtor. Some people don't want to do network marketing. They don't want to talk to their family and friends. They don't want to post on social media. They don't want to work. They don't want to change their life. So it's like, or maybe anti-aging isn't for them and they need to go sell a travel gig or something. Well, that's probably a terrible thing in a pandemic, but whatever. So I think it's just the no's, I just knew I had to go through them. My first piece of personal development, write this down. You can find it on YouTube. Please go listen to it today, or it's getting late. Tonight or tomorrow, promise you'll listen to this. It's Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn. Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn. I listened to that CD in my car at least 100 times. I could quote almost the entire thing. He talks about the law of averages. He talks about the parable of the sower from the book of Matthew, that you're going to sow some seeds. And guess what? Some of the seeds are going to fall on rocky ground. Some's going to fall on thorny ground. Sometimes the birds are going to get seeds, a biblical story. So I just knew. I knew not all my seeds would sprout. Now, the disappointment one, Rebecca, I don't know if it came from my background of having a pretty traumatic like childhood and almost dying when I was like 15, but it does a lot to a human when you're 15 years old and you almost die. Like, it's just, it's a really, really sick kid. But I feel that in everything that happens in your life, you guys have a choice. You can either personalize it, meaning take it on as your identity, or you can just progress from it. So with all the things like the betrayals, I've been abused, I've had major losses, I've had my businesses, I've had business taken from me, I've had just insane tragedies in my life. And I just choose to not focus on it. I'll give you guys a little life thing from my dad. My dad is, he's like one of my mentors, an amazing thought leader. He's almost 70 years old and former Buddhist, now Christian. So I call him my Christian Buddha. And he says, he taught me something called PTJ, pivot to joy. Pivot to joy. So 3 weeks ago, my dad died, not him, my stepdad. So I have two fathers and was an amazing dad. Somehow I got blessed with, an amazing stepdad and an amazing biological father. I had 4 amazing parents, and they divorced and remarried when I was like 1 and 4. And so my stepdad who raised me died. And it was sad, and I grieved, and there was tears, and, I know where he is. I feel good. We know where he's at. But immediately what I did is I took some time off over the holidays and I PTJ'd. What I do, I read, I listened to music, I cooked the most amazing gourmet meals, Rebecca. Oh my gosh, I wish I could feed all of you. I made like barbecue short ribs and rack of lamb and crab legs and omelets and just like baking cookies, gluten-free cookies, all organic. You guys get so fat in my kitchen. It's just amazing. And so I PTJ'd. I went to, instead of feeling it, the sorrow, the rejection, the grief, the hurt, the betrayal, whatever you're dealing with, I pivoted to joy. What brought me joy? Spending time with loved ones, sitting with my dogs, snowshoeing at -10 degrees, ice fishing, cooking, building my business, talking with my leaders. I PTJ'd. And the last thing I'll share is, which is kind of have to do with prospecting, I also got from my dad. I have a whole podcast on this, by the way, on PTJ. Well, on this one, it's called Mileage. I love acronyms. Mileage. Everyone wants more mileage in their life. This is something I live by every day. And I live it in my business every day, in my leading, in my recruiting, in my marketing, in my relationships, in my marriage, with my mother, with my dad, with my siblings. Mileage. More invitations, less expectations, acting grateful every day. More invitations, less expectations, acting grateful every day. Rebecca, why do people get so upset when they don't enroll somebody or when somebody says no? Because they had this expectation. The same reason that we get upset at our spouse for not doing something we know or wanted them to do, even though we didn't even clearly explain it to them. Or why didn't that person show up in our team the way that we thought they were going to? Why didn't they, weren't they consistent? Why didn't they show up? Why didn't they register? Why did they quit? Instead, I look at my life, I'm just inviting. I'm inviting people to come in my space. I'm inviting people to be my friend. I'm inviting even my husband. We have an extraordinary marriage. But I cannot have unrealistic expectations on him. I invite him. There might be days he doesn't want to be, the most amazing, glorious, cuddly, perfect, doting husband. He might be going stuff at work or stuff with his parents or stuff in his own mind or whatever. And just let him, all right. I invite you in when you're ready. I am here. Less expectations. Don't you go down and acting grateful every day. You guys want more influence in 2022? Raise your hand if you want more influence. You want people to be attracted to you? Be the most grateful person that you've ever met. There's nothing sexier than a grateful person. You might think that you're not an attractive person physically. I'm telling you, you might think you're a 5, you'll be an 8. You'll be a solid 8.5 just by being grateful. We hung out with a lot of family and friends. Obviously, the last few weeks has been a lot of grief and all this stuff. And we hung out with some friends recently, and what was really interesting in this process, they were not grateful people. Not that they were super ungrateful, but we did a lot for them and they were not grateful. They didn't really go above and beyond. They weren't thinking. They were we did so much. It was a weird kind of experience. Afterwards, my husband and I talked about it in depth. And we talked about how by being grateful, it's so rare. And when you're grateful every day, you wake up every day. In fact, when you go up from my office, the first thing you see when you walk into my house, this is the garage walk in, is this big 3-foot thing. It says grateful every day. I'm grateful for LifeVantage. I'm grateful for the products. I'm grateful for Rebecca. I'm grateful for Bobby, my friends, and Julie, and all these wonderful people that I know. I'm grateful for this new office that we built in my basement and my little treadmill. Grateful for Axio. Hallelujah. I'm grateful for my dogs. I'm grateful for my house. I'm grateful for the opportunity to get to know. I'm grateful for the fact that I live in a city, in a country that I can build a business like this. There are countries that you can't even build network marketing. So that's, I think, how it's a long answer to a short question. I know we didn't even get to the Q&A because now I got to go to my podcast, but hopefully you guys got something from that, because it's the no's, who cares? They're going to come. You don't really have a lot of control unless you're awful at this, unless you're word vomiting, and then you got to work on your skill. But if somebody doesn't want to see it, so what? Go to somebody else. There are people praying for this right now. There are people that are looking for a way out of corporate America, or looking for a plan B, or looking for our products. And it's just if you don't get them, you don't get them. You didn't have them to begin with. So that's what I got for you guys here tonight. Rebecca, it's been amazing. Thanks for letting me, you guys have listened to my voice this whole time. I'm so sorry, but I hope we can do it again. It was awesome seeing your faces.
Oh, Rachel, thank you so much. I mean, you delivered and then just went to the moon. I think everyone got so much out of today's talk, and girlfriend, I'll come do your team meeting anytime. We so appreciate you. So thanks everyone for joining. It looks like from my phone, this is still recording. So I'm hoping that I will be able to share all of this with you later as I sit in the dark on my phone. But thank you guys so much for joining us this evening, and have a wonderful, happy new year. Thanks, everybody.